Cross country is a summer sport that's played out in the fall. Hi there, Coach Sage Canada of SageRunning.com here with another training talk. Today we're going to talk about the building blocks of success for cross-country season, or a season of racing 5K types of races. I know a lot of you young whippersnappers, maybe you're in high school or college and you're gearing up for cross-country season in the fall. As well as track season later on, or maybe you're out of college, you're an ultra runner, you're moving down trying to work on your speed, or you're a road marathon runner moving down, want to do a 5K season. There's a lot of 5K races in the fall, but this is applicable to if your season's maybe it's track season in the spring and you're building base over the winter. It's the same sort of concept. You have these months before your official season starts where you really lay the groundwork and set yourself up for a successful season, because it really pays dividends later on. If you show up first day of practice in August or September and you're not in shape, it's going to be a big struggle to get in shape, to get in peak shape and reach your potential within the few months you have of racing 5Ks and things like that. So unless you're super talented, you probably have to put in some diligent, consistent work over the summer. Now, that being said, if you're on a school team, I've ran throughout middle school, high school, Division I college in the U.S. here, then post-collegiately on teams, you kind of have to listen to your coach for the most part. They're going to be probably pretty strict. I don't think they could officially do official practices. Maybe you go to camps. I've been a camp counselor at a lot of track and field and cross-country camps, from the University of Oregon to Cornell University to Steens Mountain Running Camp in Eastern Oregon. Interacted with a lot of high school kids and seen their progression kind of, as well as been a camper myself in high school and had a blast. But your coach can't really give you formal workouts over the summer. You don't want to do any real super hard formal workouts in the summer. You're going to peak too early. You don't want to be, you can't burn out until you catch fire. Well, you don't want to catch fire over the summer when you've got all fall to race yourself into shape as well. But laying that aerobic base, or this foundation, what I'm going to talk about, is going to be real key to staying injury free, to preserving your fitness throughout the season so you could slowly progress and peak at the right time when it counts at the end of the season, championship season. You want to be healthy, you want to be the most fit of your whole life there. And that's when you want to be consistent all season, but you really want to be doing well in the big races that count and meeting your goals, hopefully. So to lay the foundation for success, it takes a lot of consistency and it takes staying healthy. Those are the main things. You got to watch your hydration levels in the summer. A lot of guys go out and you're running in the heat, you're sweating, you're losing a lot of minerals and nutrients, you're getting dehydrated. Take care of your nutrition, take care of your hydration, do all the little things like stretching after runs, and don't hurt yourself. That's a little easier said than done though. The key to not hurting yourself though, when you're building this aerobic base, which is essentially building up your weekly mileage, your weekly volume, slowly and consistently, is that if you have any major aches or pains, you gotta dial things back. You gotta try to address the problem, whether it's the wrong type of shoes, whether you increase your mileage too fast too soon, whether you run too fast on your easy days. Those are really common first-timer mistakes. And you're all eager to train as a team or get out there with your friends or by yourself and push early in the summer. You got to take things real slow. 80%, 90% of your runs and your mileage over the summer or in this base building phase need to be conversational type of pace. You shouldn't be breathing so hard that you can't easily talk with a running partner, or just be able to relax and actually enjoy the run, enjoy the scenery. Know that you could go a lot faster, but keep things slower than you probably even think. Just keep things really relaxed, but run with good form, still get in a groove. Just as a rough example, my junior and senior year of high school, I was running my highest mileage. I was probably hitting consistently 50 miles a week my junior year and up to 70 miles per week my senior year. That doesn't mean you should do that. It's all relative to what you've done in the past and what your injury history is and probably what your coach has to say. But I slowly built up to that. And if I felt bad, I'd always take a rest day, back off, take a lower mileage week. But we'd start off with easy paced running, because you're less likely to get hurt if you're slowly building up with slow paced running before you introduce the fast stuff, or before you try to push really fast, hard long runs all the time, which do get you in shape, but they could injure you. So that's really key with that, is being patient, really, and slowly building up. So yeah, I was hitting 70 miles per week going into my senior year of high school. So ran a lot of 15:30 5Ks, got down to 15:17 for 5K that season. My most successful cross-country season in high school. But a lot of my easy day paces, so that's sub 5 minute per mile race pace for a 5K, or about 3:05 per kilometer pace, right? But my easy day pace was over 7 minutes per mile, or I don't know what that is, like 3:40. No, 4 minutes. Yeah, about 4 minutes, over 4 minutes per kilometer as an easy day type of pace. And that's 80% of the game. That's 80% of the mileage, a lot of easy mileage. Now, workouts in the summer, you do a lot of searching online. I read a lot of books. Jack Daniel's Distance Running Formula book, read that as soon as it came out. This was like back in freshman year of high school, first edition. I'm that old. And he talks about having these phases in training, developing basic speed by doing things like strides, right? 4 by 100 meter strides, 4 by 15 seconds. At the end of an easy run, you go out and you do this slow acceleration where you get up to faster than mile race pace, or 90% of your sprint, and you don't want to pull a muscle. You work into it. Then you take a minute rest. You relax. It's not meant to be hard. It's not a workout. It's just getting the legs moving fast at the end, stimulating fast twitch muscle fibers for about 15 seconds at a time. And you're trying to focus on running with really good form. It's hard to run with bad form when you have to run close to a sprint. And it's a slow acceleration. You don't have to be like Usain Bolt and get out of the blocks and try to sprint and race your friends and go as fast as you can, but 90% top end speed, maybe after a month of doing that twice or 3 times a week after an easy run, you do that, you get up to 95% max speed. Maybe you start hitting your sprint speed, practice on your finishing kick. And it's also part of a strategy you do before a formal type of quality workout like a tempo run or a track session. You do a 10 to 15 minute warm up really easily, then you stretch a little, then you do these strides, right? It kind of warms the system up, but it's a good way to stimulate that fast finishing speed that you need at the end of a race and the end of a kick. So that's my first thing. Build the easy pace mileage up. Then you start adding in some strides 2 to 3 times a week after easy days, not after any big crazy long runs. Then you want to talk about quality. You want to talk about adding maybe a little quality into your base phase. And this is what I found was really successful in my career, both in high school and college, gearing up for cross country season, was doing a couple track sessions, one track session a week basically, and then one sort of tempo to up-tempo type of run. And I'll explain what these are in a second. And it was modeled a lot off of what I read in Jack Daniel's book, but also modeled a lot of what I read in online. Summer of Malmo is what it's called. You can search for it. George Malley, I think Malmo was his nickname, came up with this. And it's on Bob Hodges' website. These old classic, well, they're old now, but these great guys, they're really good runners back in the glory days of American distance running, right? And they post their training and say, what is the Summer of Malmo? Well, he says, like, get your friends together, go to the track one day a week. You're going to be doing repeats of 150 meters to 300 meters. Maybe you're doing 12 by 200 meters. Maybe you're doing 10 by 300 meters, right? But you keep it under 300 meters and you run it at a pretty brisk pace. These are like doing long strides is what I'd say. And you also take full recoveries. So, in college I used to do 12 by 400 a lot, but it wasn't burning lactic acid hard 400 meter gut-wrenching repetitions. Jack Daniels would call them repetitions, but it was more like closer to 3K pace. So it's a little faster than your 5K pace. It's working on running mechanics and running economy or your efficiency and speed. And you're breathing a little hard after 200 meters or 300 meters, but it's not killer. It's not a sprint. The strides, 100 meters and below, you can start sprinting. 200 meters, 300 meter repeats, you're doing quite a few of them. but you're doing them relaxed, and you're taking a full recovery rest in between. Maybe it's 2 minutes, maybe it's even 3 minutes, because you got to practice with running with good form, and you don't want to be in pain. You don't want to be tired halfway through the workout. Later on in the season, you do hard reps, and you want to be tired, and you're doing VO2 max types of stuff, and really hard intervals develop getting lactic acid buffering. But in the summer, you don't want to do that. You just want to work on your efficiency and your speed, your leg turnover, right? So maybe you're doing that with your friends at the track once a week. Maybe it's a fun game of fartlek where you're sprinting between mailboxes kind of, or mixing it up on a run, doing 1 minute surges, types like that. 10 by 1 minute fast followed by 1 minute jog, something like that. It could be really informal, and it shouldn't be hard. You don't want to go over 80% type of effort as an overall effort for the workout. You don't want to be hyperventilating for minutes on end and running with bad form. The key is to always run relaxed with good form. But you're running faster than your 5K race pace, so that's one key. Then you start mixing in, another time, maybe later on in the week, after 3 days, you do what we call the traditional tempo run. After a 1 to 2 mile warm up or a 3K warm up, really easy jog, you launch into this 20-minute, maybe it's a 30-minute, steady state type of run, 85% type of effort, something you could maintain for an hour in a race if you've ever raced for an hour. Probably not if you're focusing on a 5K right now, but something that's much slower than your 5K pace, and maybe you're breathing a decent amount, but it's still very under control. If you had to accelerate and run 30 seconds per mile faster, 20 seconds per kilometer faster at the end, you easily could. It's not a race. It's something that's a solid 8 out of 10 on the pain scale, very steady, also running with good form, but significantly slower than your 5K pace, still way faster than your easy day pace. So you're doing that. Maybe if you're more advanced and you're running over 50 miles a week, and you have consistently, maybe you're even doing a 5 mile type of up-tempo run, or 8K type of run, or even a 10K or 6 mile type of run, kind of at this steady pace. It'd be more like 80% of your maximum heart rate or type of effort. Steady aerobic zone where you could you could always accelerate and go faster, you could always negative split, but the goal is to maintain a steady pace and to just be breathing kind of hard, but not pushing. You don't want to cross that threshold and feel the lactic acid and feel the burn and have to fight and thrash your way. It's not a race, you got to be patient. It's slowly progressing your fitness because it's faster than an easy day pace. It's going to be slower than your 10K pace even, right? So we call those up-tempo types of runs. You couldn't maybe carry on an easy conversation, but you could say a couple sentences here and there to your training partners, right? You guys aren't going all out. So maybe you meet at the track for that. Maybe you do a 8K on the track. It's pretty boring. I've done it before. Maybe you're doing it out on the roads. Maybe it's in the course at the end of a long type of run. But those are really the only types of workouts that you should be doing if you're doing any workouts at all. Over the summer, or building your aerobic base. You could do some variations on that, and we do with our sagerunning.com plans, as well as coaching people. But generally, if you're gearing up for a season, a lot of it's going to be all about consistency in your weekly mileage and just running a lot, almost every day, more consistently, at an easy, relaxed, conversational pace. And I keep drilling that over and over again because it's so important that you stay healthy and injury-free by running slowly first as you build up your strength. And if you have some sort of imbalance, if you eat like crap and you have bad nutrition, you could get injured, you could get sick, you could overtrain. This is not a foolproof plan. There are genetic differences between people, and you got to stay fresh mentally as well. But a lot of it, what it comes down to, is slowing down that easy day pace, building consistent mileage, doing higher mileage than you've ever done before in your life, but knowing, hey, last year I was only running 25, 30 miles per week or 50K per week. Maybe this year I'm going to go for 35 or 40 miles per week as a peak, or 60, 65 kilometers per week, something like that. Would be a natural progression, but as long as you're staying healthy. So that's really the name of the game. Again, you can check it out. Search Summer Malmo. It's on the Let'sRun.com message board threads. It's on Bob Hodges' website. It's just a rough idea, rough plan. Again, got a lot of this knowledge from reading Jack Daniel's Distance Running Formula type of book, Better Training for Distance Runners by Peter Coe, exercise science stuff, things like that, personal experience. Thanks so much, guys. Really, really appreciate the support. Hope your summer's going well, or winter if you're in the other hemisphere. And stay tuned for more Sage Running videos.